Part of Kal Gadol. You were showing, we mentioned this already as a possible case last night. You were showing both on the Melacha and on Shabbos. Rabbi Nuna Mar Eno Chayv Elachas. You only chayv one korban. Amrle Rabbi Zira said V'lav Kol Shekenu. Let me ask you a kav v'chomer against you. Ilu mezi b'Shabbos v'shogim b'malachos. If you're amazing on Shabbos, right? You know Shabbos. You're shoging on the malachos. You forgot the malachos are forbidden, right? In that case, how many karbanos do you bring? Ain't no chayav akolachos v'achos, or you're not chayav in each and every one? Of course, you're chayav in each and every one, right? If that's the case, nation idvosei flow. It's a typo here. Nation idvosei shikagas Shabbos. Delete the word malachos. Because he added on another shkaga. Oveit shkagas malachos. It's going to detract from the shigas malachos. The word shkaga b'zeh should be worse. That done is on Shabbos and shigas malachos. If we forgot the malachos and remembered Shabbos, then he's chayav al kolachos v'achas. Kavachomer, that now he's a shoygeg also on Shabbos, they should be chayav in each and every one. Through the logic, it doesn't follow 100%, obviously, because, but that's his logic, and the Gemara doesn't bother answering it. I mean, the obvious answer is, I don't know why the Gemara doesn't answer. The obvious answer is, yes, but now, it's like, that's true, but who says you should follow the Shigas Malachos now? Follow Shigas Shabbos. But the Gemara never bothers to answer this question. The Gemara immediately goes on to something else. Rabbi Yirmiyah, just ignore it. Rabbi Yirmiyah Ba'akui Rabbi Zira. Rabbi Yirmiyah has it for Rabbi Zira. I believe this question is in the Bible as well. Kater Chatzi Grogeres b'Shabbos Zu. You did a half a grogeres on this Shabbos, b'Zodim Shabbos Shigas Malachos, knowing that Shabbos are getting Malachos or Aser. The Chatzi Grogeres b'Shabbos Zu, and another half a grogeres on the next Shabbos, the other way, reversed. B'Shigas Shabbos, you forgot it was Shabbos, but knew the Zodim Malachos. Shkaga Shabo Ma'osheit Starfu. Do I say that the Shogig joins together, and then you at least bring one korban here? Says the Gemara, Efshar Lomar. Can you say this? It's not possible. Shabbos are mechalkos. Let's try to shoot with more stress. Efshar Lomar. Can you say such a thing? Shabbos is mechalkos. By definition, we said already several times, Shabbos is mechalik. Why? Because the yomim should have been assigned, the days in between are yedil chalik. So Shabbos is mechalkos. Shabbos is mitzdarfos. You want Shabbos to join together? Cannot be. Right? The fact that it was done on two Shabbos, in and of itself, should be enough to deprive us of any possibility of making it tziruf. Right? Says the Gemara, not necessarily. Harei tamchuim chokim, but tamchuim mitzdarfin. Tamchuim are separate dishes, right? You eat chaylev in two separate dishes. So they divide up, yet, in other words, if you eat two tamchuim, kazais in each tamchui, you should be chayev two chatos. Whereas, if you have a half kazais to each one, then it seems that it does join them together. So we see here that even though tamchuim are mechalik, they're also joined. Amar lei, so he said, any of that tamchui. I don't know what the halacha is, what the halacha or why the halacha is by tamchui that they join together. I hold by tamchui, if it's two separate dishes, you have chaylev in the hamburger and chaylev in the hot dog, make taste that they're mitzdarif. Maybe they're not mitzdarif. I don't know that they are. So just like over there, the tamchuim are mechalik, and half gazais in this one is not joined with half gazais in that one. So in our case, I don't think a half a malach on one Shabbos is mitzdarif for the other half malach on the next Shabbos. Okay, says the Gemara, v'lo masnisin. What about our Mishnah? Cause of os achas, big typo here. One letter. B'Shabbos Zu it should be. Not on a weekday, obviously. V'achas b'os achas b'Shabbos Zu, another one on another Shabbos. Rabbi Lezer Mechayev Chatos. Rabbi Lezer says they join together. Rabbi Yeshua Poiter. So we see Taka they're not mitzdarif. Of course, according to Rabbi Yeshua. So we pass like Rabbi Yeshua, which we normally do. You see they're not mitzdarif, right? Half a letter, one letter on one Shabbos. That's half malacha, and another letter, the other Shabbos, another half malacha. They don't join together. So it says the Gemara, Rabbi Yashario kum Rabbi Mana. Rabbi Zara said in front of Mana, maybe that case is different. Tipater, say that case talking about Bezodon, where one of the letters was bemazed. It's not mitzaref. Not because it's two Shabbos, but one of the letters was bemazed. So that's not mitzaref to a korban, because in order to be a korban, you need to have the whole shiur b'shogeg, no mazed. Okay? Amar lei, so he said to him, v'lo koshkenu. Wait, so make a kavachomer. My mazodon she'ena cholik. By zodon. Can you bring multiple chatos? Obviously not. Zodon doesn't make multiple chatos, right? But Mezi never bring korbanos, right? The Korban puts it succinctly. He says, "Do you get multiple deaths?" No, obviously not, right? So Zodon does not bring about multiple results, right? So if you're going to say Ma'amazon She'eno Cholik, which can't bring about multiplicity, Eno Mitzdaref, well, it cannot join together with a Shogeg, done on a different Shabbos, Shkoga She'i Cholekes. If you're doing a Shogeg on the next Shabbos, and Shogeg by its nature divides up, because you can have multiple Chatos, so therefore, is it not a Kavachomer Shalot Mitzdaref if the Taka doesn't join together? Rabbi Chanina said, Lo Marke. The truth is, Rabbi Yirmiyah's question was not a question about where he did half a malach on one Shabbos, half a malach on another Shabbos, because Shabbos is for sure mechalik, like we just said. Rather, he asked a different question. Sorry, it's no kach. So rather, the question was like this. Katzar chati grogeres, bezadon Shabbos shikas malachos. You did half a grogeres with forgetting, knowing that Shabbos again malachos also. But chatzi grogeres bein arbaim, you did another half a grogeres that afternoon. In other words, the same Shabbos, not a separate Shabbos. V'shigas Shabbos malachos, with the opposite, forgetting that Shabbos knowing malachos are also. Shkago shabo v'shkago shabo ma'u sheitz tarfu. So the two shogis joined together. On Ramana said, Avagav the law my Rabbi Yossi dom milsa. Amir Kavasa. Even though Rabbi Yossi didn't address this question, he addressed a similar question. Not that we're going to have a resolution from the similar question, but he addressed a similar question. What's a similar question? You ate half a kazayis knowing that it's kodesh, but helim tumor forgetting that you're Tomei and therefore not eating kodesh. For chatzi zayis, you ate another half a zayis, bel and kodesh, not knowing that it's kodesh, v'diyas hatuma, but knowing that you're Tomei. So Helim Shabo ve'Helim Shabo Maushit Starfa. Do I join the two Helimas together to be Mechayiv you a korban? Guess what we answer? No answer. Very good. Okay. Onwards. Nicha Shabbos Shabo lo Yimei Chol Ben Asayim. I understand by Shabbos the weekdays come in the middle. They come in the middle. They break it up. Right. What about Gabi Nida Ma'islach? Now I want you to know I'd made a major mistake yesterday. I think Nida Gufim Mechalkim. That's true. But Rabbi Akiva and Rabbi Lezer even talking about you had the relations with the same Nida 5 times. So now the Gemara asks, if that's the case, what divides it up? What's the separate thing? Right? It's all Helim Achas. So why is these mites to be a separate? Right? That's Gemara's kasha. So Shlogish Amar Tipoter Benida Ktana. It's talking about a Nida Ktana, which is the same thing the name of the Korban says as a Zava Ktana. How long does a Zava Ktana work? 1 day. Wait. 1 day, right? So what he did is, he had beer with her over the course of 5 days. Not 5 days, 10 days, whatever. Over the course of 10 days. Or it could be even less. As long as she doesn't see 3 days straight. So it could be any configuration which you won't have 3 days straight. So that way, it could be Helim Achas, and the days are Mechalik, right? The Nida periods are Mechalik for that matter, right? Because she was a Nida, then she was always Nida, always Nida, and so on and so forth. Shebolo may have sik Tara Ben Asayim, she had days of Tara in the middle. Rabbi Lezer Shimon Omar, Rabbi Lezer Shimon went even further. He said, the truth is, Rabbi Akiva asked Rabbi Lezer the exact opposite question that we had. According to our Gemara, the question Rabbi Akiva asked Rabbi Lezer by Shabbos, so it should be Chayiv 1. And then Rabbi Lezer brought a raya from Nida, you're Chayiv in each one. Right? Which we just explained as being that we had Nida Ktana, and there were days in the middle to be Mechali. Says Rabbi Eliezer Shimon Kachsho. He asked about Nida, not about Shabbos. The question itself was on Nida. Baal Nida Achas Chamesh Pilos Be'elei Machas. He had relations with the same Nida 5 times in one period of forgetfulness. Chayev Achas al Kulam. I chayev one on all of them. O Achas al Kol Achas V'Achas. You chayev in each one of them. Okay, so the question actually was originally asked about Nida, not about Shabbos. Amarlei chayev al Kol Achas V'Achas. He's chayev each and every one. The kasha, and on that Rabbi Akiva asked him, Ilu kotzar v'kotzar be'elei mechad. If you think tzira and another tzira, and in one period of forgetfulness, klumu chayev al kulam el achas. He's chayev on the whole thing, anything more than one. In other words, the kasha was in Nida and the raya from Shabbos, as opposed to what we said before. The kasha was on Shabbos and the raya from Nida. So he's just reversing the case. Okay? It says the Gemara, Rav Acha b'shem Rabbi Chanina said, "Kain Rabbi Mana Makshele." Rabbi Mana asked the following question: "V'lochein Rabbi Shmuel Rabbi Avo." Didn't Rabbi Shmuel say Rabbi Avo say b'shem Rabbi Acha ben Chanina kol adil da hilchasa? Our entire halacha here in Shabbos, which discusses the possibility of multiple karbanos, is Krebi Lozer. As many Shabboses as you forget, you only bring one korban. He holds that no matter how many Shabboses pass, we don't say Yom Mishben Asayim. Your Rabbanan hold you don't say Yom Mishben Asayim Avi Deal Chalik. That the day's in middle interruption, and therefore you bring one korban on all the Shabboses you missed. One korban catches all. Okay. So that's the case. So too, by Nida, it should only be chayav one, right? Because the days in between, they don't break it up, right? So says the Gemara, no. Rabbi Yossi said, Ki amtei kai dam Rabbi Chanina. I explained it like that with Rabbi Yaakov. Sorry, kai the mar Rabbi Yaakov like that with Rabbi Yaakov say Rabbi Chanina. Leis kain Rabbana. The Shiloh is not going like Rabbana. Like Rabbana, you're right. You can't divide up the Nidas because they hold there's no division even by Shabbos. But the predication of what the case of Nidas predicated on the assumption that Yom Mishabin Asayim have Yedil Chalik, right? So Rabbi Eliezer said they talk Yedil Chalik. Rabbi Akiva said they're not Yedil Chalik, right? But the assumption of Rabbi Eliezer is that days are Mechalik just like by Shabbos the days are Mechalik. Not like the Rabbanan who argue in our Mishnah who hold that days are not Mechalik. Okay? Now there's a missing word Rabbanan here. It should say Rabbanan the Kesarim, the rabbis of Caesarea. B'shem Rabbi Nisa said name Rabbi Nisa, cool name. Kol Adoyechel said Rabbi Eliezer. Since the entire halacha, which requires multiple korbanos, Rabbi Eliezer, called the Yipuk Mina halacha, anybody who tries to derive halacha from it, Kula Rabbi Eliezer will only come out with halacha like Rabbi Eliezer, not like Rabbi Akiva or Rabbanan, who argue on the beginning of Perek Lagaro, which is Mechayim multiple korbanos over multiple Shabbosos. Okay? New Mishnah. Back to normal Shabbos sugyas. Avos HaMalachos. The main categories of malacha are boim chaser achas 40 minus 1. What's 40 minus 1? 39. Very good. Hazoreah, planting. Va'choresh, plowing. Va'koter, harvesting. Va'ma'amer, bundling sheaves. Hadosh, threshing. Va'zoreh, winnowing. Va'borer, sifting. Hatochen, grinding. Hamaraked, another type of sifting. So borer is separating. This is sifting. Halosh, kneading. Haofet, baking. Hagozis, semer, shearing wool. Vamalabno, bleaching it. Venapso, carding it. Cleaning it. Ratsovo, painting it or dyeing it. Hatove, weaving. Vamesach, somebody who I forgot what mesach is.
order is not helpful.
No, but it means to set. Yeah, it means to set aside to straighten the the warp threads in the loom, the threads which go across. Okay. And somebody makes two holders for the warp threads to go through, right? Somebody throws the warp threads, the shuttle through twice, back and forth. That's weaving two chutim. Somebody who rips two threads when he has to fix them. In other words, that's be almanas lead for, but he rips them in order to mend them, not to mend the thread. And he has to do two threads. Kosher, tire, matir, untying. Tofer state fear, somebody who sews two stitches. For state fear, if you rip with the intention of sewing two stitches. Hatzod, hunting. Somebody who hunts down a deer. Vashochto and shechtzit. Vamavshito and skins it. Hamolcho, somebody who salts it. Hamabid is oro, somebody who tans its hide. Vamachko, somebody who smooths its hide. Vamachatcho, somebody who cuts it to a certain form. Hakoisif shteosu, somebody who writes two letters. Vamochik, somebody who raises two letters. Vamavir, somebody who makes a fire. Somebody who erases with the intent of writing two letters where in that spot. Habones, somebody who builds. Hasoser, somebody who destroys. Obviously, also Amnas Livnos, the intent of reconstructing. V'hamachaber, somebody who extinguishes. V'hamavir, somebody who causes a fire. Hamakapadish, somebody who puts the finishing touches on an object. All these make up our boy and chasar achas 40 minus 1, 39 mulach.
I remember some more mechanically than this to prove that Maver is fire.
I don't think so. I was looking for Tanakh derivations there. I think very correctly. Okay. Avos malachos are boy and chasar achas, says the Gemara. Therefore, they're 39. Minay lovas malachos in the Torah. How do we know that there are avos malachos in the Torah? Rashul Banach V'Shem Rabbi Yehuda said, "Keneged our boim chaser achas," because there are 39 times the malachos shekos b'Torah. The word malachos is written in the Torah. Okay, so that's 39. Bonkui Rabbi Acha. They asked for Rabbi Acha. Kol ein d'chsi malachos shtaim. They were trying to count it and make it work. So they asked him, anytime it says the word melachos as opposed to melacha, does it count as 2? Right? In order to get up to 39? So, I'm Rabbi Shane. Rabbi Shane said, Ashuras eni d'Ravacha b'chol raisa. The eyes of Ravacha went through the entire Torah. L'ashkach siv dam milsa. They didn't find the word milachos in the Torah. So the question was a moot point because it doesn't say milachos. Okay? Is that clear? So if the plural, it just says malacha. Yeah, just malacha. So therefore that's how it makes up 40. 39. Barabaya Don Milsa. However, he asked this question. Sorry, Monil, do we count with minhon? Is it from them? Do we use the one where it says that Yosef came home to do his malacha? Now, this is depending how we learn what Yosef intended to do there. According to those who said Yosef intended to do his actual work so that it can be counted. But according to the other opinion, which Chazal bring down, that Yosef came back home with the intention of having relations with the wife of Potiphar. So then it can't be assumed that this malacha is literal, right? Because it's a euphemism. So therefore it might not be counted in the count of 39. Says the Gemara, what about this one? Is this what it then? Because this is talking not about human beings ceasing work, but about God. Does that count? We don't know. Where doesn't answer. Tani. Rishim Bayuchai says, Sheshes Yoin Tochal Matzos, Uvayom Hashvi Lo Sasem Malacha. On the seventh day, you shouldn't do any work. It's a gathering for HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Lo Sasem Malacha. What day of the year is that? No. Yeah. No. Not Atzeres Shavuos. Yeah. It says eat matzahs. Besides on Sukkot, what day is it Atzeres?
It's the
8th day. It's not a Yom HaShvi. Okay, don't feel so bad. It's late. This pasuk, it ends all the 39. Now, you have to count 39 till there, and I understand from the Mefarshim on the page that it's hard to find, but somehow or another works out. Okay. Rabbi Yossi Bar B'Shem Rabbi Shmuel Bar Nachmei said, "Kineret Rabboim Chaser Achas Pam Shekosem Mishkan Avoda Umalacha." Says by the Mishkan Avoda Umalacha 39 times. So that's an allusion to the 39 Malachas. Our Rabbi Yossi Chanina, yet a different version.
In other words, it's called Malachas Avoda.
Yeah, I guess something like that. Yeah. Our Rabbi Yossi Chanina Zeh Hadover Enksiv Kan. It doesn't say this is the matter of Shabbos. Eila Dvarim, these are the matters of Shabbos. The word Dvarim is an interesting word. It could be divided up. Could have said Davar, could have said Divrei. It says Dvarim. So from this pasuk alone, we learn Mikal Avos Tolados. How we learn Tolados and Avos and Tolados. Well, how many? What's the gematria of Eila? If it would have said, it could have said Dvari. Well, it could have said, it says Dvarim, right? Could have said Davar, that's 37. It could have said Dvari, that's 38. It says Dvarim, that's 39. Okay? So that's how we get 39. From the gematria. Chanina, the Tipurim B'Shem Rabbi Yavo said, Aleph Ches Lamed is Tlosin. That. Wait a minute. Aleph Chad. Lamed Tlosin. Hey Chamisha. We learned from Eila Dvarim, right? I made it wrong before. Aleph is 1. Lamed is 30. Hey is 5. So that's 36, right? Davar is Echad. Davar is 1. Udvarim train. Wait.
Does it differently. Doesn't look at Divrei.
Yeah, Dvarim Chad, Udvarim train. He skips Dvari, that's right. So he's got Aleph is 1, Lamed is 30, Hey is 5, that's 36.
And then 3 is 39, but I don't understand where you get Dover is hot. Because it could have said Dover and it didn't, so
I guess, I guess so.
And
right, it's counting Dover is 1, and it's counting the extra Yud Mem is 2, because that adds on and makes a plural. So I guess that's how he gets up to 37. Dover is 1, and Varim is 2, because it's plural, and therefore it's 39, excuse me. Mikan Larboy Chosar Achas Malacha Shekasa B'Torah. Rabbanan the Kesar Armin Minasra Lo Chasakum, from its very place, you have no problem learning this out altogether. That's a very strange. Aleph is Wachad. That's 1. Lamed is Tlosin, that's 31. Ches is Tamnayo. 8 is another 8 that makes 39. Now you'll ask me, it doesn't say Alach, it says Eila, right? Good question. But remember, we're dealing here with Yerushalmi. No, Spartan.
oh, the hay.
That's right. So,
They would have said Eileh.
well, they don't. No, but the hay sounds like the ches. Right, all the osios gronios. Yeah. Well, not all of them. I mean, race is a problem, but acha. ahacha are the same, have the same parameters. Okay, because reish, nobody knows if reish is nose gronis or not. Yeah. But the bottom line is, right, we changed the ches to hey, that's what it said, hey to ches. Lo mismanin rabbanon, the rabbanon never refrain darshin ben hey leches from darshaning a hey like a ches. Now, the interesting thing here is that this is really one of the few sugas in Shas where we learn halacha from gematria. I mean, the Yerushalmi Bavli also brings this down, but it's a very interesting thing. You could say it's not being learned out from the gematria; it's all just an asmachta. But it sounds like Gemara started taking this asmachta pretty seriously. So if that's the case, we're actually learning out halacha from gematria, which is a very rare instance.
Well, it's just confirming what you learned earlier about the 39 times it says malacha.
Right. Could be. Could be that this is not a separate drush, but built on what it says before. That's possible. What?
It's a first report. The Baron did that by the first Tosas and Gittin.
What do you say?
So the Tosas asks a question, why is the get called a get? And one answer is because get has, the gematria of get is 12
yeah.
and get has 12 lines. And Tosas says the second answer, and Baron said that it's really one answer.
It's a continuation.
Right, it's a continuation. You have to, one enhances the other.
All right. Rabbi Yerushalmi Lakish, Avdin, this is beautiful. About to learn is simply beautiful. Rabbi Yerushalmi Lakish, Avdin, Havoi, Bahad the Pirka, they were working at this perik. Tlash Shoni Uplog, 3.5 years. Okay? 3.5 years they're working in Klal Gadol. Afku Minei Arboim Chaser Achas Tolados Al Kol Chad V'Chada. They got 39 tolados on every of. Now it's really not precisely 39 on 39, but rather they got 39 square tolados. What's 39 squared? A lot, big number, right? Some in the neighborhood of 1,500 or so, right? Okay, so they got that many tolados. Why it's more beautiful? Because of the next line. I mean the ashkechun mismach. Those tolados which they found they could peg on to one of the avos, samchun. They pegged it on. They said, this is a tolad of this. Hadalo ashkechun. The ones they couldn't find, masmuch, find a category for them to pigeonhole them. Avdune mishum makav patish. They said, it's makav patish. This is mamish rokotem. It's could have been written 5 minutes ago, this Gemara. Anything which you can't ask for Shabbos for anything else, Makav
We could have used this a month ago in Bavli.
Right, that's right. That's right. So anything is Makav
versus Makav.
Yeah. So probably the real thing is that all the other ovos have 5 or 6 tolados, and Makav Patish has a gazillion tolados. Okay, that's probably the way it works actually. Says the Gemara further. Benoit, the Rabbi Chia, the sons of Rabbi Chia, Ruba the Great, Avdin Avah the Pirka, Shita Yari. They didn't learn so long. They only learned for 6 months. Apkumine Shismilin Al Kol Chad V'Chada. So they weren't so good at it. They got 6 tolados on every of. Where do we see that? Benoit, the Rabbi Chia, Ruba Havi B'Shitas Avur. The son of Rabbi Chia the Great was said something similar to their father's Shita. The time we learned Rabbi Chia says, HaKotzer, somebody who harvests is grain. V'abotzer, harvests his grapes. HaMoseg, somebody who harvests his olives. HaGoider, somebody who harvests his, I think it's figs. HaTolesh, it's another type of harvest. Oren, somebody collects to the basket. Kula mishum kotzer. They are all considered to be kotzer. So we see here 6, right? Kotzer, botzer, mosek, hanoder. Is that a noder? Or goder? What?
A noder wouldn't make any sense. It says I go there.
I'll go there, right. I'll go there. Somebody, harvests, I think, a date. Tolesh, some of you harvest, again, as I said before, the anything which has to be plucked off a tree, like an orange or something. And an ora, I forget which one he does, whatever, some fruit. Eino chayav. What? Kulam mishum kotzer. So it's 6 things. Kotzer, botzer, mosek, goder, tolesh, ora, and kotzer itself. So there's six in all, and 5 tolados, which is the 6. Okay? Amar Rabbi Sidur. Rabbi Sidur said. We had him already before, Rabbi Sidur. What? Oh, Sirut. Oh, but he did have a Rabbi Sidur, I think. Yeah, maybe, unless I misread it then too. Rabbi Sirut said, this is such a Litvish Shemaisa. Here you see the Yerushalmis were Litvaks. Yehuda bar Avdin, Havav Machshir, he toiled at Machshirin, Masechta Machshirin, Shita Yarchin, 6 months. B'Seifa, at the end, Asachat Talmud, a certain student came, meet Rabbi Simoy for Rabbi Simoy's base medrash. B'Shoyle, and he asked him a kasha. Shaila, V'Lagive, he couldn't respond. Yehuda Brebi. Amar, so he said, Nikar Zeh Shelo Avar Al Pischo Shel Torah. It's clear this guy never passed through the opening of Torah, meaning he learned 6 months of Machshirim and it was completely wasted. Okay? Says more further. Amazing thing is that we gave the guy's name. You know, they don't scare. Yehuda Brevi. What?
Is that inspiration?
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. It's an amazing thing. Yeah.
Is that why it's Litvish?
Yeah. Okay, no, it's Litvish because you get no schar if you don't understand anything. Aboy Mavas Mos Chosrachas. Leda Mila. Why we have to tell us a number? To teach us Shema Son Kulam Behelim Mechad. If you did them all 1 period forgetfulness, Eino Chayiv Elachas. We only Chayiv 1. Tan Rabbi Zaka Kum Rabbi Yochanan. Rabbi Zaka said for Rabbi Yochanan, Zibeach Pikiter V'Nisech. You did all 3. We had this right early in the parak. You did all 3. You sacrificed a korban. You put a ketores up, and you libated wine in front of Avodah Zarah. In 1 period of forgetfulness, Chayiv Akolachas Vachas. You're Chayiv each and every one. That's what Rabbi Zakkai said. Amalei Rabbi Yochanan said to him, Bavlayot, you Babylonian, you. Avarta biyotcha tlos, and now he took it to your hand 3 rivers, meaning these 3 prohibitions. These barta, and you broke, you cracked. Eino chayiv ela achas. No chayiv 1 korban. Why? Because at lo yidberinei. Ad lo yidberinei biyadei. Had you not tried and made him into 3 separate melachos, yesh kanachas. It would only have been 1 melacha. Venkanena. In other words, it can't be multiple melachos. Mean the taver biyadei. Once you broke it in your hand, yesh kanena, it's multiple melachos. Venkanachas. Yet there is no 1 melacha. Now, meaning like this. We learned this a few blot ago, as I said, but we learned the pasuk says that. What did the pasuk say? Me'achas mehena. Okay, and we wanted to know a few blot ago how to interpret that pasuk. And we said me'achas mehena means sometimes you're chayiv 1 and sometimes you're chayiv a blot. Right? Sometimes you chayiv 1 korban achas, sometimes you chayiv hena, which is several korbanos. And so we wanted to know what prohibition of the Torah that pasuk was going on. It's in the parsha of Chatos, but what specific korban? Right?
Okay.
No. What specific aver it's talking about? What specific aver? I'm sorry. So the proposal was going on Avodah Zarah. Some people say it was going on Shabbos. The proposal was going on Avodah Zarah. So the Gemara said back there, and it says now it can't be going on Avodah Zarah because Avodah Zarah can't be divided in Achas and Hena. Why can you divide Shabbos into Achas and Hena? Because by Shabbos you have both
different malachos.
You have shigas malachos and shigas Shabbos. So if it's shigas Shabbos, then it's achas. Shigas malachos, then it's heina. Right? Shigas Shabbos, you only get one. Shigas malachos, then you get multiple. But that's not possible to talk about when it comes to Avodah Zarah. Avodah Zarah, there's no parallel case that we can say that that's the case in which we're referring to here. Okay? So therefore, by Avodah Zarah we say,
There's no shigas malacha with the Avodah Zarah because.
Oh, so it's a kasha Rabbi Zakkai, right? So it's kasha Rabbi Zakkai. How can Rabbi Zakkai say achas meina is about Avodah Zarah? By Avodah Zarah, there's no way of setting up as achas hey meina. It's either achas, like Rabbi Zakkai said, or it's heina, like Rabbi Yochanan said, but it can't be both, right? So what? So can't be talking to Avodah Zarah. So says the Gemara, Rabbi Bar Bar Memel. Rabbi Bar Bar Memel boy kum Rabbi Zera. He asked for Rabbi Zera. Yei chayav al kol achas v'achas. Let him be chayav on each and every one. Meaning, by Avodah Zarah, or I could say it's chayav on each and every one. Kibod the Tamer Gabe Shabbos. Well, how are we going to be saying you're going to chayav on each and every one? Like it said by Shabbos. Very interesting drasha. By Shabbos, you all know this drasha, but here we're expanding on it a little bit. It says, Lo sa'aseh kol malacha, that's a cloud. That's a generality. Lo savau leish b'chomosh v'oseichem, you shouldn't burn fire. Prat. Halo havor b'chlal ha'isa. Havor was one of the 39. It didn't have to be singled out, right? V'yotza min ha'klal came out of the rest of the afflictions. Lost my place again. Lulamed, to teach us, lower ma'avorim yucheres shu ma'aseh yechidi chayov eleh b'fnei out. So avora is unique, or rather its salient feature, is that it's the ma'aseh of an individual, and you chayiv on this ma'aseh in and of yourself. Av kol ma'aseh u'ma'aseh sheyesh bo l'chayiv Allah b'fnei atzma. So to an each and every second. Yeah, it means each and every malacha, which is mechayiv on its own. I'm just spacing out, but this is the regular Bavli, right? Avor l'lav yotzah l'chalik yotzah. So this is an explication, expounding an explication. What's the word?
After a time, the walls of the lower it's expanding.
It's
expanding on Havor to the rest of the
yeah. Extrapolate. That's what I meant to say. Extrapolating, right? So any one of the other ones, 39, which is possibly chayv on its own, is a chayv on its own. Says the Gemara, if that's the case, so too you can make this cloud, and the prat shiyatzim in a cloud, which is lo l'lamed al atzmo yatza, and lamed al klal kulo yatza, because that's really the midah we're using by Havara. We're saying by Havara on Shabbos is saying the cloud is lo sasu kol malacha, the prat is Havara. So Havara, I say, is a prat, specific one of 39. Shiyatzim, which is taken out of the general list. It came out lo lamed al atzmo, lamed al klal kulo. What's the lamed al klal kulo?
Well, the other
right. They do all chayv. So let's say by Avodah Zarah the same thing. By Avodah Zarah it says lo savdeim, which is cloud, means it all, generality. Lo tishtachava lehem, don't bow down to them. Prat, this is a specification. Va'lo ishtachava b'chlal loisa, is including the generality. The lami yotzah min haklal. Why did it come out of the cloud? L'lami, to teach us. Ma yishtach avoy milcheres ma'isi yechidi. Just like yishtach avoy is unique in that it's a single deed, the deed of a single individual, and yechayev l'miyatzi yechayev independently. Afkol ma'asu ma'asu sheyesh bo l'chayev Allah b'ifnei atzmo sheyesh bo l'chayev. Afkol ma'asu ma'asu sheyesh bo l'chayev Allah b'ifnei atzmo. So to any other ma'asu, we can be chayev on your own, right? Meaning that you should be chayev also on every activity by korbanos, right? Like Rabbi Zakkai. So Amalei said no, it's different. B'Shabbos klal b'makom echad uprat b'makom acher. By Shabbos the klal is in one place, the prat is in another case. If the klal and prat were together, what might we say? Right, klal prat ein b'klal masha b'prat. But now that they're distant, they're not within striking distance of each other. These measurements, right? So I say these psukim, right? These psukim. So therefore I say that it's not a cloud prat, but rather the prat is melamed on the cloud. However, here ba'akum cloud shu b'tzad prat. By avodah zarah, the cloud is next to the prat. If you look back, it says they're both in Shmos Lamed Hey. So with the cloud next to prat, what do I do with it? Cloud prat. No, you don't expand.
You're saying it's cloud prat? There'll still be cloud prat?
Well, it depends what the order is.
Well, I think it was
Is it prat or cloud by here?
I got the impression that it was saying
Lo shtachve is afterwards. Yeah, but here lo it's in the cloud lamed. Okay. I'm like, no, wait, I can save it. I got another one. I got a distant prat. I found one all the way in Dvarim. Oh, is it not in Dvarim? Yeah, no, it's in by Midbar, but somewhere. No, somewhere in Shmos. Somewhere else in Shmos. But the bottom line is, it's far away. I got a far away one. All right. Cloud mokum echel, prat mokum acher. Salvation. The cloud is in one place, and the prat is in another place. Let's make a prat ayotzim in a cloud by avodah zarah too. So b'chayv each every what? Says the Gemara, no cigar. I'm like came and shot loy made. This is mamish balbatish. I'm like came and shot loy made mitzido. No, since one prat is next to a cloud, so that already ruins all the pratim. Okay, you need to have no prat next to the cloud in order to say that prat is yotzim in a cloud l'lamed. But here you lose. Since one prat is next to the cloud, that ruins the whole thing for you forever. Tough luck. Okay? Amalei came and shot loy made mitzido. After little cloud b'mokom echad that loy made. Right? Even in the cloud mokom echad. I'm not sure how to read that line. I remember that the unfortunately have a difficulty with it. But what it means basically is, like I said before, that since the cloud and the prat in one place are together, so that it teaches us everything. Okay? Chevrai Armin. Lo Shania. There's no difference between cloud mokom echad, prat mokom acher, where the cloud's on some prat in another place, or between cloud prat mokom echad, the cloud prat one place. So what is the difference? You're right. So what is the difference? Cloud prat hu b'Shabbos. The difference is that by Shabbos it's a cloud and then a prat. So then the prat can be yotzei l'lamed. However, by avodah zarah, prat v'charka cloud. It's a prat and afterwards a cloud, like you said before. So therefore, in that case, you don't say the prat is yotzei l'lamed. Where do you say the prat can be yotzei l'lamed? When the prat follows the cloud. Where the cloud follows the prat, it doesn't work. Okay?
Quoted the first time they quoted.
Yeah, but they quoted out of order. He was right. They quoted out of order. That's what it comes down to. Where am I? Rabbi Yossi Amar Lo Shani Ben Shekol V'Achar Prat Ben Shepar V'Achar Klau Basically, it's what came first. Ben Sheklau Prat, whether it's a Klau Prat, Klau. I'm sorry, Ben Sheklau Prat Klau. It's a Klau Prat Klau or Klau Prat. He Shabbos Klau. Bavodosa. Must have read this wrong. Just a minute. Yeah, I read it wrong.
So it's Klau Prat.
Yeah, everything is Klau Prat. That's what it means to say. Which, of course, they don't pass like. But Rabbi Yosimer, Lo Shai Ben Sheklau V'Achar Prat makes no difference whether it's a Klau and then a Prat, Ben Sheprat V'Achar Klau, a Prat and then a Klau. Or, for that matter, Klau.
Ben
Sheklau Prat Uklau. Or if it's a Klau and Prat and Klau. Regardless, I give them all parameters, Klau Prat b'Shabbos. They're all considered to be Klau Prat. Klau b'avodoso, Prat b'avodoso. A Klau is a bayitz avoda and a Prat bayitz avoda. Now, I don't fully understand, how he calls a Klau Prat to Klau Prat. We know that's not true, right? But maybe what he means is that a Klau Prat to Klau. Well, I don't know what he means by that. I'm not sure. I don't know what he does to Klau Prat to Klau. But in any event, says the Gemara, ba'akum by avodah zara, Klau ba'avodosa. The Klau is by its service, meaning by the service to avodah zara itself. Uprat b'mlechus gavah. The prat is by something which is done even to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So therefore you can't use the prat to teach you anything about the Klau. Because the prat is so about what? What's the prat by Avodah Zarah? Bowing down. And that's done to Hashem, right? So therefore you can't extrapolate and say it's a Klau uprat, even for the purpose of, Midah Shatarni Dreshes by him, because we're talking about a case where
of a korban for avodah zarah is also done for Hashem. And the zrik of the blood, carrying the blood, the whole activity of the korban. When do I say it's more? It would be different if it's a molech. You're doing these protests.
I know, that's not what the Korban says, though. Ben Moshe says something?
When they divided the house, there was the upper story ever sunk. They would jointly demolish the building and rebuild the house. Behind me, they blew off the Gabi Adon if they didn't make a condition, stipulation. Us, the Gabi Adon, if they made a stipulation, sorcery or both. Then they have to back it down and build it up.
Haven't you had the concept before that it's not really a avodah zarah unless you go through the same activities that you was doing?
No, that's besides. It's either or. Avodah Kavah, you also chayv, even if it's not the derech of that avodah zarah. I'm not sure what to do with your question. 1 second.
Who asked the question? One question, how much time will you I'm too tired now. It was prepared from barley flour.
No. Tell you why, because it's not going with the other cloud, the other prat. You'd be right if the prat was los tishtach Elohim. The prat he's going with is, the cloud was los tishtach Elohim. No, you'd be right if the cloud was. Well, the cloud was los Right. That's what I'm about to say. Los Avdim is the cloud.
Los Shtachim is the prat.
Los Shtachim is the prat. So Los Avdim does include also. your basic premise for your question on the premise that Zovech Elohim Yachara is the cloud, weren't you? Because Los of Dame is a generic cloud. It includes even Pa'or, right? Whereas the Prat is specifically Avodas done to Hashem. So therefore, I wouldn't say they're Prat Yotzim in a cloud Lulam because it wasn't Yotzim in a cloud. Yotzim in a cloud would be, I don't know, maybe it would be considered Yotzim in a cloud. I don't know how to define that. But the bottom line is that it's not considered to be, how should we put this? It's not considered to be Yotzim in a cloud because in order to be Yotzim in a cloud,
the rabbi said before Rabbah, in the name of Marzutra,
in order to be Yotzim in a cloud, it has to be a cloud and Prat. Right. That's a Prat in the cloud. Because we know that the clouds are 39 melachos. Los Vareish is one of the 39. By Losav Dain, the cloud. So what's the difference? Still is no difference. Losav Dain is all melachos, and Ishtach Havoya is one of those melachos. So what is the difference, Taka? No, so the Korban Aida comes to Bavoran to preclude what I'm saying. He wants to say Losav Day means specifically the Avodah which you do to them. It says Losav Day means in their Avodah. So then that works, because then the cloud is in their Avodah. The Prat is in our Avodah. And therefore the Prat cannot modify the cloud. Okay? In other words, he makes it dissonant. Anytime it's dissonant, it has to be, in order for the Prat to modify the cloud, and to be Yetzer Chalik, it has to be a subcategory of the cloud. But here it's dissonant, the Prat is not like the cloud. Again, because he says, Lo Sovdei means Dafka, its own Avodah. Okay, so that's good. Okay, so the bottom line is, by Avodah Zarah, Acharei Kechleitz HaKol, we still don't have a court to make Avodah Zarah Chayav HaKol Achas V'Achas. Okay, because we don't have a Prat which is Yetzer HaKlal L'Lamed. Ramona says, I have a different answer for you. You know why Havara you can use as a limud on all the other malachos that you're chayav on each one, because there was no need for Havara to be singled out. They didn't have to be singled out. Why have to single out Havara? 239. Why single it out? So it must be that it was singled out. It was singled out to teach us something about the cloud. It was Yotzim min HaKlal L'Lamed. On the other hand, you needed to write that you're chayav on Ishtach Havoya. It had to be Yotzim min HaKlal L'Lamed al atzmo she'eino ma'isa. They teach us is that even though it's not a ma'isa, you're still chayav in it. Why is Ishtach Havoya not a ma'isa?
May not be the routine of.
No, Balabatish. No accomplishment. Normally, what's a service to a god? Avodah Zarah. Take a korban to it. There's no ma'isa. I might have thought that that's not a chiyuv. Okay, so that's what he's saying. So again, even though it's not a ma'isa, it's still chayav on it achatos. So if that's the case, so I say, what's the correct answer again? Right. Why Avor is a cloud which is a prat which is made, which tells us something about the cloud, whereas the prat later by the case of Chveis, of this case of Ishtach Havoya, just not speaking straight. Let me make it simple. My mind is not for functioning with half my brain time behind my back right now. Paraphrase somebody, but or to quote him exactly, the Havora is l'chalik yotza because Havora is not necessary because it's one of the 39. Ishtachavoya would not have included. Ishtachavoya is not considered to be a true avodah. What's to be a true avodah is sacrifice, especially by avodah zarah. The bow down to avodah zarah is not a big thing. So if I would have said Ishtachavoya, I mean, I understand. As I said, it sounds somewhat Ba'abatish, but that's what it means. Ishtachavoya, it's not a big Maisa. So I would have said Ishtachavoya is not part and parcel of the lav. Right? That's why I need Ishtachavoya to be specified. It has to be singled out. Have to tell me, don't think that what's Avodah Zarah, Zibuach, Kitur, Nisuch, all the big stuff. And not Ishtachavoya, you have to tell me also Ishtachavoya is a form of Avodah Zarah. What?
Probably a dying distinction.
No, I don't want to get offensive, but Por is not a Ma'aseh B'Yadayim.
Right. No, you're trying to understand.
Ma'aseh B'Gufa.
Because I really don't understand why Ishtachavoya should not be considered. Okay, you say it's whatever.
Yeah, that's something like that.
Because the Korban doesn't say why it's not a mice.
No.
It is a little weird.
Right, but that's what the Gemara is trying to say. Okay, that's not considered to be a true Maisa. Maybe the Ritbaz explains better? No, it doesn't. Okay, says the Gemara, Asya Kahut Tani Chizkiah. This goes like that, which was similar to that which Tani Chizkiah said. So Vech Elohim Yocharam. Says that somebody who sacrifices to another god is killed. Yotza Zvicha Lamed Alakol. Zvicha can teach you about anything. However, Ishtachavoya Lamed Al Atzma Sheinu Ma'aser. Ishtachavoya can't teach you anything. Why? Because it's good. Just teaches you about itself. They're chayav on it, despite the fact that it's not a ma'aser. Okay. What does Zvicha, by the way, teach you? Zvicha teaches you chayav on anything which is done inside the Beis HaMikdash. Even if that avodah zarah doesn't have that avodah. For instance, if you're zovech lepaor, right? So zovech lepaor you shouldn't be chayav on because they weren't zovech lepaor, they were just poor lepaor, right? So that's why zovech lelim yacharam to teach us that you're chayav nonetheless. But Ishtachavoya is not, I can't use the l'chalik, even though it seems superfluous, because in reality it's not superfluous, because what does it teach us? It teaches us that even though it's not a meiser, you're still chayav. Says, well, wait a minute. Ocholov. Who says? Maybe say the exact opposite. Say that Ishtachavoya, well, not the exact opposite, but say that Ishtachavoya is superfluous. Say Ishtachavoya is Kain Pnim, because inside the Beis HaMikdash they bowed down, right? They prostrated themselves. So the Ishtachavoya is learned out from Zavech L'Im Yocharam. And then Ishtachavoya will be open again. If it's open again, I can use it l'chalik, right? Says more no. Davashu Maisa Malamed, Davashenu Maisa Eino Malamed. Something which is a Maisa we can learn out from Zavech L'Im Yocharam. Once again, we're stymied by the fact that Ishtachavoya is not a Maisa. Okay, so therefore, we need Ishtachavoya for itself. It's not a prat which is Yotzei, and it's not which is a prat which is Yotzei. So if we don't know the Avodah Zarah, you mechayev independently. It didn't fall to Achas Sheyehena, going way back when. Didn't fall into Achas Sheyehena because it doesn't have the concept of two different types of shkagos, Shabbos and Malachos, right? It doesn't have the Avar L'chalik principle because none of the pratim are superfluous. We need each one of them. So therefore we're stuck and we have no way of learning it. Amar Rabbi Yirmiyah said, Havara l'tzorach yotzos. Havara also is l'tzorach yotza. Why is Havara l'tzorach yotza? L'lamed abotei dinim. Teaches us about botei dinim. Shlo yodonim b'Shabbos. They shouldn't judge on Shabbos. Now you might ask, what does that have to do with Havara? So you remember from the Bavli that it's talking about Sreifas Bas Kohen. Right? It's telling you can't burn the daughter of a Kohen who was mezaneh on Shabbos. And for that we extrapolate that no other court case could take place on Shabbos. Okay? What's the court case could take place on Shabbos? Because it says, Nemar kam b'chomosh v'seichem. It says it's Shabbos b'chomosh v'seichem in all your settlements. It says later on, these should be your judgments for all your generations, in all your settlements. Just like the Moshe Sechem, which it says by your settlements are Botei Dinim. Moshe Sechem and Shenemar Khan, Botei Dinim, Medaber. It's all about Botei Dinim, right? So I might say, it's all about Botei Dinim. Okay? You're allowed to run a court case on Shabbos, right? Just like you keep Shabbos all your Moshavos, you keep Dinei Torah on the Moshavos date. So therefore we have to say, Lo Savaroish B'chol Moshavosei Yom Shabbos. Why don't burn the Bas Kohen? It's to count the Bas Kohen means you're not supposed to sin in judgment. It's not supposed to sin in judgment, don't sin in judgment on anything, right? No, so the kasha is like this. I'm sorry. So there's a kasha. Rabbi Yirmiyah was asking a kasha. So Rabbi Yirmiyah asked, wait, Ravar is also a tzorech. Why is Ravar singled out to teach us? Don't burn the Bas Kohen to death on Shabbos. No auto dafes on Shabbos, right? You can't burn at the stake. If that's the case. So it's l'tzorech. It's l'tzorech. So how are we using it to teach us anything about the other malachos Shabbos? It's integral for itself. It's not more. It can't do anything else. So it says more. So it's different. You know how it's different? I'll tell you. It's a difficult line, but Mikevon, Mikevon. 1 second, let me remember what he said. Yeah, Mikevon the Tamar the Tzorech Yotzos. The bottom line is, what does Avara teach us? Okay, let it teach us. You don't put the Bas Kohen to death. But how does it teach us that?
You can't light a fire to put it to death.
Which teaches us?
You can't light a fire.
Which teaches us that even on one malach you're chayiv. Yeah. So even though it's l'tzorech, it had to teach us don't kill a Bas Kohen. But how did it teach us that? By teaching us that you're chayiv on Shabbos on each and every one of the malachos. Because otherwise, there wouldn't be any need to tell us, don't burn her. If we didn't learn chiluk melachos from Lo Savaru Eish, then wouldn't be, why'd you have to tell us Lo Savaru? You're only chayiv if you do all 40, all 39. So it must be a chayiv in each one. That's what the Torah is telling you, don't burn her to death. So even though it's written l'tzorech, it's as if it's shelo l'tzorech, and we can learn it out. It's like backhanded, right? The Darvish, so that's what he says here. Mikayim v'teim l'tzorech yotzas. Even though it says mikayim, but it's as if you're saying, so it says mikayim, which means since. But really what I'm saying is that even though it's l'tzorech yotzas, kamishi yotzas shlo l'tzorech. And Darvish shlo yotzas shlo l'tzorech, and melamed, and so much came out shlo tzorech. That's melamed, and that's what happens here. Okay, so the bottom line, however, is by Yishtachavoya, you don't have that, right? Yishtachavoya is l'tzorech. It's necessary, right? And it's l'tzorech doesn't teach us anything backhanded about l'chalik, right? Because it could be Yishtachavoya. Yishtachavoya is taka, only chayev. As part and parcel of everything else. As part and parcel of if you do nisuch and kitur and shtachavoya together, right? So we don't know any chiluk there. The only time we see a chiluk is by avora, because since we hear the yechayim misa na one malacha, that Mimela teaches us chiluk. As opposed to post avodah zara, it's entirely possible, albeit not true. But it's entirely possible avodah zara. You only chayiv to bundle everything together and do them all one package deal. Now that's not true, but we certainly don't see the Yerchayev on each one separately. Okay, so therefore again, Havara, even though it's l'tzorech, but it teaches us derech hagav that each one is separate. By los l'ishtachavoya, it's just teaching us the etzem chiyuv on davar shem b'maisa. It's not teaching us anything, even backhandedly, about whether it's mechalik or not. All right, we'll stop here for this evening and pick up with you this morning.